Hello everyone, and welcome to this, let's call it a speed build, even though I am fairly slow at speed building. And in this speed build we are going to build a nice upstairs theatre, so let's get right into it. And I clicked the wrong button, so let's do this once again. Hello everyone and welcome to this speed build. In this speed build we are going to build a nice upstairs theatre for our pen and paper game, A Haunted Anniversary. So I will be fading in and out of the speed build at the moment. I'm still entering the, well, I've called it Funhouse, so let's check the books. And yes, it seems like we are on time for our speed build. So I've emptied this room, even though if you follow the dream address, you know this was a theatre before. And we'll turn it into a theatre again, but we are slightly changing the layout. So instead of using the room horizontally for the stage, we'll just use it vertically, so we can get the full length and depth of the room. So in the first step what I'm doing is I'm basically setting down the seating arrangements, and I've chosen the lecture hall benches because in my experience that's just what cheap community theatre looks like. I'm also an actor, so yeah, I should definitely know. And then I've noticed I only have one dark lecture hall bench, so I'm just gonna nick this one from Dobie. I'm sure he's not going to mind, it's just a dog after all. Yes, I know, he's a wolf. So back to the theatre. We're setting up the second lecture hall bench in the back. Oh, even though I do have some issues actually setting it up. In the next step, I'm starting to decorate the walls, and I'm using this wall plaque from the museum stamp challenge, because I think it kind of looks like something you could find in a theatre. Here I'm just browsing through my masks because I thought I might have a second mask here, so as to represent comedy and tragedy, so to speak, but I do not, so we'll have to make do with this one for the moment. Still working on the seating arrangement, and I thought initially like these cushions would be nice, so some of the audience could actually sit on the ground, and my thinking behind this, even though I've totally misplaced them, was that if people are sitting on the floor, the back rows could just look over their heads, still have a good view of the theatre. But enough of the audience for now, because of course the theatre also needs a stage. So I actually have a play in mind, and if you want to find out more, well, you will have to go on tour through Friesland, or you might have to decipher whatever on earth is going on. So of course we do have these lovely hedge standees and tree and mountain standees as a background, because I think they do add nicely to the aura of a theatre. And then because every single play also needs actors, we have Jack's robe, because it is nice and kind of looks menacingly mystical, and we have a ballerina dress. And the bed, well, that's all just set dressing, obviously. Still missing one item, and that's the Western style stone, because, well, this is a tragedy, just like life. Here I'm still fiddling around with Jack's robe, because it's kind of hard to tell where the front and back side of the robe is. And then I'm trying to arrange everything on stage, just to A, give it a nice and pleasing look, but also kind of make sense. So if you come in as the audience, you would kind of know what's going on, or at least you could kind of deduce what's going on from the placement. Even though clearly it does take me a while because I didn't think about it. So in this step I'm placing even more lecture hall benches, and I'm running out of the dark wood variant, so I thought, you know what, the hell, I'll just place the light ones. It's not going to be bothering me that much, but of course it does in a moment. I will be replacing them. So yeah, everything's looking good for the moment. So it's about time to set up some lights, because this doesn't look very dramatic at the moment. I've collected a kind of a vast variety of studio spotlights, but not all of them, so I'm kind of limited in terms of color. Might be going on Nookerson and try and get even more. Wall-mounted ones obviously are coming in very handy here, because they don't take up space on the floor, so the audience would still have a clear view. Yes, I'm thinking very, very logical about this. I'm trying to get everything up to speed and have everything look nice and theatrical, even though this one's a bit oddly placed for the moment. And of course we need the crest door plate, because, well, that does play a major part in the play. Let's just throw down a couple of more studio spotlights, because why the hell not? We all love for the stage to look colourful, and we want it to look very dramatic. When I say we, I mean I want it to look very dramatic. And with the lights off, it's, you know, it's already getting there. So, you know, you can kind of see where everything's going. So everything's kind of set up to look like a dark and dreary dream sequence. When I initially built the theatre, I wanted it to be reminiscent of Macbeth, and maybe even have the set dressing reflect that. Maybe one of the scenes with the witches, because I think like the colourful light really adds to that feeling. Still fiddling around with the cushions, and I will replace them in a moment, because obviously if you sat on a cushion behind the lecture hall benches, you couldn't see anything. So at the moment I'm trying to mix and match, and it doesn't really mix or match, so I'll try and replace them later. But for the moment, yeah, I think we've got all the basics covered, so let's just fix what still needs fixing. Obviously what we need is some bells for that. How many bells I own? Well, that's private, so... oh no! Let's see how far that gets me. In terms of chairs, well, unfortunately not very far.
29,000 for Imperial dining chairs.
Absolutely preposterous. Well, let's just order a couple of more lecture hall benches for the moment, and we'll not worry about the chairs. And welcome back. After a good night's time skipping, the lecture hall benches should have arrived, and so should our song. And I chose KK Dirge, in case you don't know that song. That's the dreary, Halloweeny, spooky one, and I think that really adds atmosphere here. Normally when I try and go for a spooky atmosphere indoors, I'm not going to use music at all, because the empty rooms, they sound absolutely depressing and mystical. Kind of, it's odd, isn't it? But here I went with KK Dirge because I wanted it to still feel theatrical. I might replace the spooky skull radio later, but not in this video, because I think right now it kind of looks nice as a prop, but also it wouldn't be out of line to just have bigger speakers behind the audience. Here I'm still fiddling around with the walls, and I'm making a huge mistake as I'm replacing the crown wall with a wallpaper that has windows, and now I've kind of ruined it because the art plaque is gone. But don't worry, I'll fix that in a second and just go with a black crown wall just to add some neutral background to the theatre. So in the next step I'm adding the magic circle rug, because I do want to give the play a feeling of a supernatural ritual, and I think that rug adds to it nicely, even though it's a really bad fit for the blue ballet shoes. But alas, I'm still fiddling around with another black mat, but yeah, it doesn't really look like a welcome mat, and kind of detracts the attention from the stage. So I'm tossing it out, and yeah, that's it. That's the theatre for now. O broken weeping heart, so full of sorrow, full of tears, shall there never be day again? Oh no, no, please don't stop. And if you like what you've seen, please feel free to like and subscribe, or leave a comment what you want to see next.